Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. General Hospital Tuesday, October 29 recap. Drew confesses Willow kiss to Livid Michael Sam accepts Dante's engagement ring. General Hospital GH spoilers recap for Tuesday, October 29 reveals that Holly Sutton, Emma Sams, played up how she's made the ultimate score. Enough so that she'd never have to work again, and Sasha Gilmore Corbin, Sophia Matson, would be set up for life. However, Sasha ran down the list of everything she'd been through without Holly, including the loss of her baby boy and Brando Corbin, Johnny Wachter. Sasha didn't want help from Holly and argued that it was too little, too late. At the Brown Dog Bar, Drew Quartermain, Cameron Matheson, punched Cody Bell, Josh Kelly, back before the cops came. Dex Heller, Avenhofer, learned Drew didn't want to press charges against Cody, but he still took Cody to the police station to sober up. Cody drank coffee in the interrogation room and had a conversation with Max Scorpio, John J. York, who offered comfort over the whole cousin situation. Although Cody thought he only became a better person because of Sasha, Mac insisted Cody put the work in himself. Cody wanted to leave town because it was too painful to be near Sasha, but Mac ultimately convinced him to stick around. At the Quartermain mansion, Ned Quartermain, Wally Kurth, received a video on his phone from Elaine, Judy Kane, the private investigator who'd been following Drew. Elaine filmed the whole bar brawl and got Cody on camera accusing Drew of kissing his nephew's wife while banging her mom. Ned showed Tracy Quartermain, Jane Elliott, the video and got her excited as they brainstormed how they'd use this as leverage. Once Drew came dragging in the house with a bloody lip, Ned called his attention to the video. Tracy and Ned made it clear that if Drew wanted his secret kept quiet, he'd have to do whatever they said. Drew acted like nobody would believe Cody and made a prediction about handling him. Ned wondered how Drew would handle James West, Gary James Fuller, since he knew about Willow Corinthos, Caitlin McMullen, kissing Drew too. At the Quartermain Gatehouse, Michael Corinthos, temporarily played by Robert Adamson, joked around with Wiley Quartermain, Byron Weaver, about his Sherlock Holmes Halloween costume. Michael shared some family moments with Willow and Wiley before Nina Reeves, Cynthia Watrous, interrupted for a private conversation with her daughter. While Michael and Wiley were up at the main house, Nina explained the Cody drama and pushed Willow to come clean to Michael before it was too late. Unfortunately, Drew decided to spill right as Willow walked in the Q living room. Willow tried to get Michael alone so she could confess, but Michael wanted to hear what Drew had to say first. Drew admitted he kissed Willow back on the 4th of July, so Willow scrambled to assure Michael that it meant nothing. Michael looked both hurt and furious as he stormed out. Willow was in tears as she fell into Nina's comforting embrace, but Nina glared at Drew over her shoulder. Back with Sasha, she headed to the Brown Dog Bar and clearly planned to do some drinking. At GH, Dante Falconeri, Dominic Zamprogna, presented an engagement ring to Sam McCall, Kelly Monaco, and asked her to marry him. Sam assured Dante that it was ok if he still loved Lulu Spencer, Alexa Havens. Although Sam appreciated the gesture, she didn't want Dante feeling like he had to thank her or prove he loved her too. Dante insisted he was doing this because he loved Sam, their family, and their life together, so Sam happily accepted his ring. Meanwhile, Laura Collins, Jenny Francis, got updates on Lucky Spencer's, Jonathan Jackson, emergency passport, so they talked about his past instinct to run away. Laura also urged Lucky to see that everyone was glad to have him back in town. Isaiah Gannon, Sawandi Wilson, eventually offered news on Lulu's surgery going well, so Laura, Lucky, and Elizabeth Baldwin, Rebecca Herbst, were relieved. General Hospital spoilers say Sam's the patient whose condition is set to take an awful turn soon, so stay tuned. In the bustling corridors of Port Charles, tension reached a boiling point as secrets unraveled and relationships hung in the balance. The day began with a palpable air of anticipation, particularly surrounding Drew's confession and Sam's life-changing decision. Drew Kane stood at the crossroads of his emotions, having just returned from an eventful trip that put him face-to-face with the realities of his feelings for Willow. As he entered the Metro Court, the weight of his choices pressed heavily on his shoulders. The clinking of glasses and chatter faded into the background as he spotted Michael Corinthos, Willow's husband, sitting at a table, oblivious to the storm about to hit. Drew's heart raced as he approached Michael, the memory of the kiss he shared with Willow still fresh in his mind. He knew he couldn't keep this secret any longer. The guilt was gnawing at him. With a deep breath, he cleared his throat. "Michael, we need to talk." Michael looked up, his brow furrowing. "What's going on, Drew?" The words tumbled out in a rush. "I kissed Willow." The confession hung in the air, charged with tension. Michael's expression shifted from confusion to disbelief, and finally to fury. "What do you mean you kissed Willow?" Michael's voice was a low growl, his anger barely contained. The room seemed to close in around them as patrons shifted their gazes, sensing the brewing conflict. "You kissed my wife. How could you?" Drew's heart sank, knowing he had crossed a line, but he needed Michael to understand. "It was a mistake, Michael. I never intended for it to happen. I care about Willow, but I didn't want to hurt you." Michael's eyes narrowed, the betrayal evident. "You think that makes it better? You're supposed to be my friend. How could you do this to me?" Drew held his ground, guilt and regret etched on his face. "I never wanted to hurt anyone, but I can't ignore what happened. I had to tell you the truth." As Michael processed the revelation, his emotions swirled: anger, hurt, and a touch of disbelief. "You know what? I need some time to think." With that, he stood up abruptly, leaving Drew to face the consequences of his actions alone. Meanwhile, across town, Sam McCall was in the middle of a different kind of emotional upheaval. Dante Falconeri had been preparing for this moment, and today, as they strolled along the docks, he pulled out a small velvet box, his heart racing with anticipation. "Sam," he began, his voice steady despite the gravity of the moment. "You mean everything to me. I want to spend my life with you. Will you marry me?" Sam's breath caught in her throat as she took in the sight of the engagement ring sparkling under the midday sun. Emotions flooded through her: love, excitement, and a hint of fear about the future. Memories of her past, filled with tumult and heartache, flashed before her eyes. But as she looked into Dante's earnest gaze, she felt a sense of peace she hadn't experienced in a long time. "Yes," she breathed, her voice filled with conviction. "Yes, I will." Dante slipped the ring onto her finger, and it felt as if the world around them faded away. They embraced, lost in a moment of joy that seemed to freeze time. But even in this blissful moment, Sam couldn't shake the feeling that their journey wouldn't be without its obstacles. As the day progressed, the paths of these characters began to intertwine in ways they never anticipated. Michael, still reeling from Drew's confession, sought solace in his mother, Carly Corinthos. He poured out his heart, anger and betrayal spilling forth. "How could he do this, Mom? He knows what Willow means to me." Carly listened, her expression one of sympathy, but also frustration. "You need to confront Drew, Michael. This isn't just going to go away. You have to protect your marriage, especially from someone so close." Meanwhile, Drew found himself grappling with his own feelings of regret as he left the Metro Court. He was plagued by the impact of his actions on both Michael and Willow, knowing he had jeopardized a friendship and a family. Just then, he bumped into Willow, who was on her way to find Michael. "Drew, I heard what happened," she said, concern etched on her face. "You shouldn't have told him like that. It was a mistake, and now he's going to be devastated." "I know," Drew replied, his voice thick with regret. "I couldn't keep it to myself any longer. I just wanted to be honest." Willow sighed, her heart heavy. "Honesty is important, but now we have to deal with the fallout. Michael deserves better." Back at the docks, Sam and Dante reveled in their newfound engagement, but the shadows of their pasts loomed nearby. Sam felt a knot in her stomach, knowing that their relationship would be tested. As they walked hand in hand, she couldn't shake the feeling that they would have to navigate more than just their love to make this work. As the sun began to set over Port Charles, the day drew to a close, leaving behind a tapestry of emotions, love, betrayal, and hope. The lives of these characters were intertwined, their fates uncertain, but one thing was clear: the drama was far from over. Tomorrow in Port Charles, new secrets will emerge, and the aftermath of today's revelations will ripple through the lives of everyone involved, setting the stage for a whirlwind of passion, conflict, and the enduring quest for redemption.